Somebody takes the parking space that you're waiting to get into. You just, life sucks. It just isn't working. Well, that's because you're not feeling good. When you're not feeling good, you are naturally just going to attract bad stuff to you. What is feeling? Feeling, conscious awareness, how you feel, is conscious awareness of the vibration you're in. And if you are not feeling good, you are in a bad vibration. Do you know that wham, just like that, you can change the vibration? This body you're living in is a molecular structure, and it's in a very high speed of vibration. Everything vibrates, nothing rests. People that are feeling good are in a good vibration. You can put yourself in a good vibration in a heartbeat. Music is a great medium to put you in a great vibration. I have, I believe, hear the music? I'll turn it up a little bit. Isn't that nice? This music is playing all the time in my studio. All the time. I don't have it playing this loud. I've moved it up so you'll hear it. I have it playing very low. I have a button here on the edge of my desk. It's a button that's stuck on the desk. And I press that button, music stops. I press the button, music starts. It's my music button. Scott Edwards, who's our studio director.
Let's go. Let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Had to start the day off with a little bit of Bobby P, right? That's so interesting. I don't know if a lot of you guys knew that. He literally has a button on his desk that can play frequency, that plays different sounds. So he can literally go ahead and jump in that moment, in that feeling, anytime that he's sitting at home. So I love that. But on to the day. Happy Friday, TGIF. I've got a phenomenal topic for you guys coming in today. We've got the difference of expectations versus reality and how to start having it work out in your favor. So before we go ahead and dive into today, let's see a little bit of gratitude. What is everybody grateful for coming into Friday? Grateful to be alive, grateful for God, grateful for the breakthroughs and the breakthroughs, grateful for all of the lessons, grateful for the sun, grateful for the morning routine that we got in this morning, grateful for all of the abundance flowing to and through each and every single one of you. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the magic. All right, we are flowing through these days, and I'm telling you, every day gives a different perspective and a different angle to go ahead and look at gratitude. So once again, today was awesome as well, and I'm going to go ahead and go through it with you guys so we can all honestly do this 28-day challenge together, because I guarantee you to not only be able to do this just one or two times, but not just, I've brought it up this week. Numbers and connections. We can write it down 100 times, but when you really start to get in the feeling as we do these exercises, this is where the magic really happens. So here we go. Let me go ahead and pull up the days. All right. So today we were talking about, let me go ahead and drop them in here in for the squad. Boom. Heart magic. All right. So you guys can go ahead and write this down. We are talking about heart magic. All right, here we go. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up so you guys can see it. First things first, when we're talking about the heart magic, this was one that really stuck out to me because it's going to make you think different. All right. So it talks about, you might have figured out by now that with any magical practice of gratitude, the aim is always to feel as much gratitude as possible. Right. This is all because when you increase the feeling of gratitude on the inside, the things that you have to be grateful for on the outside, the world will increase too, right? So it says the heart of magic practice is designed to powerfully increase the depth that you feel gratitude by focusing your mind on the area of your heart as you say and feel the magic words, thank you, right? Scientific research has shown that by focusing on your heart as you feel gratitude, the rhythm of your heart immediately becomes much more and even more harmonious, resulting in major improvements to your immune system and your health, right? So check this out. Now we're getting into the practice for today. Here's what the practice we're talking about. So to practice heart magic, focus your mind and your attention on the area of the heart. It doesn't matter if you focus on the inside or the outside of your body. Close your eyes, and because it'll make it easier while keeping your mind focused on your heart, mentally saying the words, thank you. Once you've practiced it a few times, you won't need to close your eyes anymore, because for the general rule, you will feel more gratitude when you close your eyes. So as part of today's practice, it said, I don't know if you guys remember this, but we actually wrote down our top 10 desires. And if you really did this exercise, just think about it right now. If you could think about the top 10 deepest desires that you can go out and achieve into the world, what would that be? Okay. And as you write them, really get in the feeling. It could be being able to travel with your family around the world. It could be able to give your child whatever it is, set them up for college. It could be so many different things you guys can start thinking about to think about your desires. Being able to be known as an international global speaker, right? Being able to go ahead and build an academy in a different country so they now have clean water and actually real education. Whatever it is to you, your top 10 desires. And if you could truly write that down and get in that feeling every day and say thank you and really feel it as if it's already done, this is where the magic. So today's exercise was to actually go back, and if you haven't done it already, you can go ahead and start today, but to write down your top 10 desires and really get in the feeling of each one of them, right? What does it feel like to go ahead and be a 7-figure trader? What does it feel like to go ahead and impact hundreds and thousands of lives all across the world, and go ahead and be able to absorb that as if it's already done? So this was today's training. And of course, go ahead to do your 10 gratitude blessings. So I love it. That was a great start getting into today, starting off with the magic. And if you guys want to go ahead and get this 28-day challenge, you guys can go to definedreams.com. I've got it laid out for you so you guys can go ahead and see this training for yourself. So you can go through these and see each one of these day by day, and not just do it one time, but this is something that we can continuously do. So let's go ahead and get into it. Expectations versus reality, 1111, paint your vision, is the topic coming in for today. Okay, so let's go ahead and think about it for a second. Yesterday, when you guys went in your car and anywhere that you drove, okay, let's just think about the parking spot. This is something that's so simple that you guys can even work on practicing today, right? If you go anywhere that you go today and you think about getting a front row spot, see how many times that happens versus how many times it doesn't happen. Versus if you're thinking negative, if you're in a bad mood and you go ahead and pull up and you don't think about it, you're going to start to notice where focus goes, energy flows, right? Expectation is a magnet. So even another one, like let's say you guys are going to a parking spot and two of you guys are going at it, and you expect yourself to go ahead and be the first one to get in it. A lot of the time, same thing. Where expectation goes, energy is going to flow. So today I want you to think about what are your expectations in all of these different aspects of your life. Okay. But here's what I mean by that. Expectations works two different ways. When I'm talking about expectations, I don't mean by being able to paint a picture for yourself, setting yourself up to get broken, because a lot of times in life, we don't get our trust broken. We got our expectations broken. So when I get you to dive in deep with this training, this is something that I want you to just think about in a different level. Okay. How do you see yourself going out and achieving every activity that you're going to go do today? When you go out and you make your trades, when you go out and you network and you make that new relationship, when you go out and you do something today that you're not normally used to doing, how are you thinking about it before it even happens? Because here's what I know. When you get on a phone call and you go ahead and call somebody today and you're nervous and you don't believe in yourself, that energy ripples on the other side of the phone. So when we're talking about all these skill sets, being able to learn PS3, being able to edify, learning how to leverage, if your expectation before that even happens, before that phone call, before you actually get on with them, if you're not expecting to be able to make an impact, you're not expecting to make a difference in their life, if you don't truly believe that these products and tools work, guess what? The other side, they're going to be able to feel that, and they know that. So for me at the beginning, I had to truly start thinking about everything that I did, every activity that I went on a little bit differently. I used to get on the charts. I used to expect to lose a trade because I was so used to losing. I would go into the charts, and that was my mindset. So you know what I had to realize? One, it came from the lack of discipline that I actually had, learning actually to get on Go Lives and ask questions and call my mentors. Because here's the difference. When you have a lack of confidence, you know what that stems from? It stems from a lack of practice. A lot of times when we lack confidence in something, it's because we haven't spent enough time with it. Think about anything that you do well, that you have confidence in, rollerblading, singing, right? Art, music. I don't know what it is for you, but the reason that you have confidence in it is because you put time and practice. Okay. So if you want to go ahead and raise your expectations about the things that you do and truly see yourself in a better light the next time that you do it, you've got to be willing to go ahead and take the time. The first time you do it is not going to be the same as the 10th time that you go ahead and make a video, you call somebody, you go out and do something different. So that's the biggest thing that you need to start understanding. Expectations versus your reality. You're going to create your reality by the way that you see yourself doing it before it even happens. I promise you that. This is why they tell you belief is so important. If you look at the word belief, the middle of the word is lie. You've got to be able to lie to yourself about everything that's going on in your life. If you have a storm that's going on, if you have problems that's left and right, the best thing that any of us could do right now is be able to see yourself in a different situation than you're in right now, right? Life is happening for me, but it's not happening to me. What can I learn from this? So here's the deal, right? Now that you guys start to think about where your expectations are versus your reality, even though you might not see the reality that you're playing inside of your head, this is the difference. It takes time for any seed that you plant to go ahead and catch up. So at the beginning, I was always asking myself, how am I going to make it happen? How am I going to go ahead and hit a 6-figure trading account? How am I going to go ahead and impact over 200 lives? The truth is, we can wonder and we don't need to know the how. All you have to do is just decide, have enough curiosity inside of yourself to go ahead and make a decision to take action. You're never going to know exactly how you're going to do it, but when you have the belief, when you have the conviction, when you truly know where you're going, the world's going to go ahead and work its way out in the way that it needs to just for you. So here's what I know. Here's what I know. We have control to be able to feel good and to be happy, okay, in anything that's going on in our life. So the next time that something goes wrong, ask yourself this: is it my responsibility or is it somebody else's? Because if you look at the word responsibility, what does it say? Ability to respond. So if you look at somebody who's angry all the time, most of us, it's not the fact that they get hit with more problems in life. It's been their ability to respond to all of these little things that have added up and stacked up to lead them to where it is that they are right here, right now. Same with us. We are right here, right now because of the way that we've been able to look at and perceive our responsibilities of life. How do we respond when somebody doesn't believe in us? How do we respond when we go out and do something and we fail? Most people, they fail and they quit, and that's it. But here's what I've started to learn over the years: winners never quit and quitters never fail. That's what I can promise you. So when you guys get off the call today, here's what I want you to think about. I want you to go ahead and take the time to spend just 5 minutes, and just go over in your head, what are the words that I'm speaking to myself all day long, right? Some of the words that we speak, naturally, our body hurts. I don't know if you guys realize this, right? There's certain words, there's certain triggers that we all have that naturally bring us pain inside of our bodies. And it could be the story that we're telling ourselves day in and day out. And a lot of times you know what it comes back to? What if? What if it doesn't work? What if it fails? What if I spend all of this time and it goes to waste? Remember what I told you before? To be able to have an open mind with curiosity, this is where the magic happens. The second that you start to limit yourself with the words that you speak, with the thoughts that you think, this is when your life, it starts to go in the direction that you're thinking. What we think about, we bring about. What we think about, we bring about as well. Okay? So if we say, well, and I'll give you an example. Watch this. What if I were to tell you, tomorrow, can you wake up at 5:55 in the morning? Some of you guys, like, your neuroencoding is literally like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. It's been a long time since I've been up that early. So this just goes to show how powerful words can be when you start to understand our triggers. Okay. So here's the difference. What would happen if you expanded the size of your universe? What would happen if you started to actually get big in joy and love? What would happen if you started to let go of anger? You see, many of us have realized is, we're going back to the dog, the ego, right? How many of you guys have seen a little dog with a big bark? A little dog with a big bark. Here's the difference. I want all of you to go ahead and think about if you were to adopt that mindset, right? I don't care what you've been through. I don't care what happens in your life. What if you were able to bark bigger than you actually were? What if you were able to have a voice bigger than you could actually see yourself? This is where true belief really stems from. You've got to be able to see yourself in a different light than you saw before. So on this journey of expansion, on this journey of becoming the best version of yourself, I want you to go ahead and think about what would happen if I dreamed a little bit bigger? What would happen if I spoke a little bit bigger? What would happen if I gave a little bit more love out into the world? What is your state like? What is your peace like? What does your joy look like when you no longer have fear of what other people think? When you start to really realize that you can go out and achieve whatever it is that you can believe. So go ahead and ask yourself this question. As far as limiting beliefs. And it's funny because we were talking about this from Michelangelo earlier, right, on today's training. Ask yourself this question. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, have you ever seen the painting, or it's a sculpture, and it's basically a guy, and the whole top half of his body is fit, he's shredded, and the bottom half is a huge, big old, like 400-pound stomach, and he's got a chisel, and he's hitting himself. I don't know, drop a 2 down below if you guys have ever seen that statue or that meme, right, on social media. If you've ever seen it online, drop a 2 down below if you guys know what I'm talking about. Awesome. So I don't know if you guys know, but Michelangelo is actually the individual behind this whole idea and concept. It's called the Marbler. So if you've never seen it, if you know what I'm talking about, go look it up. Michelangelo Marbler. And the whole ideology of what it talked about is you're able to literally create the life that you want. You're able to literally design and architect your body, your mindset, your life, your love, your joy, your peace, your gratitude, your happiness. We are able to literally design every bit of that. Anybody that you go out in the world and you see their anger all the time, guess what? They design that for themselves. They design that thought process. So inside of the Marbler with Michelangelo, it talked about to create David, he had to take everything away that wasn't David. So he pretty much named the statue David. And he talks about, I had to, and able to take a blank piece of marble. How did I do it? I had to chip off everything away that wasn't himself. So if you think about you, let's go and put that into perspective for ourselves. What are you chipping away that is not the true you? So many of us have been hanging out with people. We haven't even had the time to think our own thoughts. We're around so much negativity, so much noise. You haven't had the time to figure out, what does Nikki want? What does Josh want? What does Brandon want? What does Horizon J want? Right? What does Brittany want? What does Jonathan want? So today I want you to really figure out, what do I really look like when I create the highest and best and open and expansive version of myself? What does that look like to you? Are you stressed out all the time? Are you complaining? Are you blaming? Are you giving excuses all day when you know at the end of the day it's probably you and I that's the ones that need to change? This is big. This is when you truly start to step in your own power of self-awareness and know that we create our life. We can create a life by design, and it starts with us. This is the season to have more of what you want and less of what you don't want. This is the season to be able to have more and do less. Yes, that's absolutely possible. It took a long time for me to realize that, but that's the truth. Why is there so many people that can work 18 hours a day and work their butt off and they're still broke? But why is there others that can literally put in a couple hours a day and they can go ahead and live a truly abundant life? It's because they've started to understand that you can literally have more and do less. You can be more and do less. This is the truth. So family, this is my training for you guys today. I want you to go ahead and end it like this, right? To put your expectations in reality. If you were to look at your box of sand, let's just go ahead and role play this for a second. If you were to understand that your sand is like this, okay, you know the visual of the sand dropping in the jar. You've got the two pieces. You have the top, you have the bottom. So my question for you today is, you ready? How much sand is in your top half and how much sand is in your bottom half? Here's the truth. If you're over 50 years old, you probably have more sand in the bottom half than you do in the top half. Okay, so I'm getting you to think a little bit. I'm getting you to really turn your gears. So your expectations, what do you see for yourself coming into this year? What do you see yourself coming in for your future? Because if you had less sand in the top than the bottom, don't you think you would treat life a little bit more seriously? Don't you think you'd go out and really commit to see what an abundant life could look like, to see what giving back to your family feels like, to see what waking up every day in bliss and abundance truly feels like? Absolutely. So I'm waiting to see it. I couldn't be more excited than to watch you grow and to see you blossom. This is a season where I know without a doubt, exactly, you never know when your sin is going to run out. So go ahead and make the most of it. So this is the season I know without a doubt, once you make that decision, once you truly believe in yourself and know that you can go out and create this life, the hardest part is not going out and doing the work. The hardest part is getting in that vibration of what is meant for you. The abundance, the success, the traveling, retiring, whatever it is for you, that's already done. That's already written in history. The only difference is you being able to match up with that frequency. The second that you do, now it's just being able to hold it, let time catch up. And I promise you, it is only a matter of time for you to be able to hold in your hand what it is that you can hold in your mind. So family, I love you guys. Go out and be great. Drop some sevens if you got any value from today. Drop some hearts down below. Smash that like button if you guys got any value and you're ready to go out and take massive action and ready for explosive growth in the month of July. I love you, family. Go out and have an abundant day. You're phenomenal. If nobody told you today, it is Friday, TGIF. The growth includes Friday. I'll see you Monday for another episode of Rise and Shine with DeFi. Let's grow.